on the record. It's July 26, 2019. This is courtroom 1, session 1. Can I please have the parties announce themselves for the record?
Good morning, Your Honor. Kathy Kennedy Swanson on behalf of the Office of the State Attorney.
Brian Wynn on behalf of the Office of Public Defender.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Omari Rogers.
All right. Mr. Rogers, you're here in 2019 CF 10668AO. You are here for new offenses: shooting or throwing into an occupied vehicle, attempted second-degree murder with a firearm, aggravated battery, causing great bodily harm with a firearm, aggravated battery on a pregnant person, attempted second-degree murder with a firearm, and child abuse. I do find probable cause for those offenses. I am going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. And state, do you want to be heard as to bond on counts 2 and 5?
Yes, Your Honor. Looking at the four corners of the affidavit by OPD Officer Miglio, this defendant met with the driver of the vehicle's boyfriend. When they exited the apartment, the driver could see that, victim could see that the defendant had a gun in his hand. He also had alcohol. He went to the car next to them, put the alcohol down, but kept the gun. When the victim driver tried to drive away, I believe the victim was pregnant at the time, tried to drive away, she could see the defendant trying to shoot at the windshield. It looks like something happened with the gun and the defendant had to reload the gun. He was then able to expel projectiles from the gun, hitting the vehicle. The vehicle continued to drive out of the complex but crashed shortly after that. A show-up was done with a witness, identified this defendant as the shooter. Based on that information, Your Honor, we believe the defendant should be held at no bond as to counts 2 and 5 based on proof, evident, presumption, great. No contact with any of the victims or any of the witnesses. No return to the scene. No weapons. No firearms. Yes, that's all, Your Honor.
Okay, and we did see Mr. Rogers for the same offense, different victim.
Correct, Your Honor.
And beginning of the week, I believe, and there's additional information as to the same information about shoot straight, I believe, and
Correct, Your Honor.
identifying the firearm and having it have been tested over there, as well as surveillance footage from that with him with the gun. Mr. Nguyen, any response as to?
Your Honor, I was just going to point out, I mean, this seems to stem from the same incident that was, we were previously in court for, but based on the affidavit, there is additional information, but we have.
Well, these are all different victims.
Right. And,
Well, some different victims, some
And-
different charges from additional information.
but we would leave it within discretion of the court,
Okay.
Your Honor.
Based on my review of the 6-page affidavit and all the additional information added to the facts from earlier in the week as to just the attempted first-degree murder with a firearm and the cannabis and the resisting. So I do find proof, evident, presumption great based on everything in the affidavit. And so I'm going to hold him at no bond on counts 2 and 5. As to conditions of release, before I get to the other bonds, you're not to return back to 1432 Mercy Drive, the Windsor Cove Apartments. You're not to return back to the Shoot Straight. At 1349 South Orange Blossom Trail in, I believe, Apopka. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim, witness, or any possible co-defendant. You're not to possess any weapons, any firearms, any ammunition. You're not to have any illegal substances without a valid prescription or any alcohol. State, did I miss any of the conditions that you requested?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, And, bond on count 1 will be set at $5,000. Bond on count 3 will be set at $15,000. Bond on count 4 will be set at $10,000. And count 6, $5,000. All right, please tell me your name.
Brother Robinson.
Ms. Robinson, you're here in 2019 MO 1364AO. You were arrested for disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Was there an offer for Ms. Robinson if she wanted to resolve her case today?
Adjudication credit for time served in 2 days.
It's 2 days? Okay. Because this was a reset? So-
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And I would have to impose court costs, Ms. Robinson, but I'll give you a year to pay him off.
Been no enter plea, no contest, Your Honor.
Okay. Have her sign the plea form. Thank you. All right, Ms. Robinson, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom? Did you understand everything that was contained within the plea form? Yes? Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea? Is that a yes? You gotta speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Do you understand, are you on probation? Did I ask you that one?
No.
No? Okay. And do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation? Is that a yes? You gotta speak up because we're
Yes,
being
ma'am.
recorded. Okay,
Yes.
thank you. All right, I do find a factual basis for, acceptance of the plea based on the affidavit in the court file. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by July 26, 2020. It gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, ma'am. Good luck to you. Okay, have a good day. All right, please tell me your name.
Lisa Carl.
All right, Ms. Carl, you're here in 2018 CF 11649AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for a plea hearing on June 14, 2019. The judge in that case set your bond at none. She have the PD? You do have the public? No. You have a private attorney, so you need to get in touch with them and they can file any.
Yeah, I just got here last night.
Okay.
So,
I'm just informing you, I can't do anything about the capias, so they're gonna have to file a motion to set bond in that division, okay?
Okay.
All right?
thank you.
All right. All right, please tell me your name.
Darius Goodman.
All right, Mr. Goodman. You're here in case number 2019 CF 9549. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for grand theft third degree of a motor vehicle. I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness. You're not to return back to 3932 WD Judge Drive.
Okay.
And I am gonna stay the bond at $1,000. You're out on release in multiple cases. I know that he's on conditional release in some of them, and he's out on bond in other cases. I am revoking the releases in all of the cases, and the judges in those cases can address any additional conditional release, because obviously it's not working. So, in 2019 CF 7117AO, 2018 CF 18328AO, 2017 CF 7595AO, 2017 CF 4188AO, 2019 MM 3781AO, 2018 MM 7527AO, 2017 MM 3278AO. Those will all be revoked. So I believe he has the public defender in those cases. You can all get with those attorneys and those divisions and file the appropriate motions. Ms. Pegues, how are you?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Pedro Miguel Padilla Falcón.
All right, Mr. Padilla Falcone, you're here in case number 2019 CF 10550AO. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant which probable cause was found for trafficking in heroin more than 28 grams. You did fill out a form for the public defender's office. I am gonna appoint them to represent you. And Ms. Pegues, you're here on behalf of statewide?
Yes, Nicole Phillips now, on behalf of
Oh,
Statewide.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, that's fine. I answered to both.
Okay. So the bond is currently set at $250,000.
It's the state request that it be stayed.
Yeah,
The
and
same.
so, I'm gonna order, there were no conditions on the warrant, so I'm gonna order no possession of any illegal substances without a valid prescription, no weapons, no firearms, no ammunition, and I believe there are some co-conspirators or co-defendants.
Yes,
So
Your
no
Honor.
contact with those individuals as well as listed in the warrant. Okay, were there any other conditions?
The state would also request that he relinquish his passport.
Okay, do we know if he has a passport? Because
He
this has
was on his-
become a sticky issue here.
I believe he was on his way to Puerto Rico, which is why he was arrested last night.
Okay.
So it stays in good belief that he does have a passport.
Okay, all right. So, Mr. Padilla Falcon, you're, to return your passport over, and I believe that's to the clerk's office.
Yes, Your Honor.
And prior to any release, okay? So that will have to be done. So if you have family members that can get a hold of your passport, they'll have to provide that to the clerk.
I don't have a passport.
Okay, well, the state's in belief that you do have a passport?
Well, when I was in the military, I had one, but I didn't renew it.
Okay, well, then the Office of the Public Defender can provide proof that you do not have a passport by contacting the Department of, I believe, I think it's,
This is the State Department.
yeah, the State Department. And they can provide evidence that you do not have a
If he's going
passport.
to Puerto Rico, he doesn't need a passport, he's a DO.
Gotcha. Okay. Just as long as we get that affidavit, we don't have a problem with that.
Right, okay. So the bond does stay at $250,000.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, have a great weekend. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Willie James Tullis, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Tullis, you're here in 2019 MM 498AA. You arrested for battery. I do find probable cause. And did you fill out a form for the public defender?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't have
Why-
one, but do you
Why
work?
is my,
Do you work?
why is my bond so high? It's on a misdemeanor. They got my bond like,
I don't know.
do I work, Your Honor, you said?
Yeah.
No, well, ma'am, I'm a Christian, I'm homeless, and I'm just trying to get my life together, that's
Okay.
all.
I'm
You know,
gonna-
'cause that's, my
I'm
mom
gonna-
raised me and my 9 sisters as
Okay.
loving God.
I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I don't know why the bond, huh? Oh, okay. I don't know why the bond is so high, but, it's not pursuant to the admin order, so let me. Alright, I'm gonna set the bond at $500. No weapons, no firearms, no ammunition, no contact with any victims or witnesses, okay?
Yes, ma'am, okay.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ROR you because you have 4 failures to appear and your last one was in 2018.
Well, ma'am, they correct, it wasn't that I failed to appeal, it's just that I had did time. Then when they let me out, I have no control of them letting me out, I just didn't break out, they let me out. Then they say failed to appeal, but then they reconstruct that and say it was their fault. I had no
Okay,
control.
well, that's the information that I have. So if you can't make your bond, or your attorneys can file a bond motion, okay?
Well, like I
And we
was,
can discuss that issue later.
like I was telling you earlier, ma'am, I'm just trying to get my life together.
I
you know. So my
understand.
mom raised me and my 9 sisters in church, and I keep running to these defects like this here, you know, I mean, you know.
Okay, well,
that's-
the corrections is telling me that you have 4 prior failures to appear, so. I'm not-
5 failures to appear?
4 prior failures to appear
Ma'am, it's only
in
one.
your lifetime.
There's only one,
That's
ma'am.
what they're telling me, so, I mean, I have no reason to not believe that. Okay?
Mr. Tullis. Mr. Tullis, come this way. Come this way. Call that number, those are your orders. At the top.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Johnny Dasson.
All right, Mr. Boss?
He's Creole interpreter.
Okay. I'll send that. Do you want me to keep that? Just give it to them? Okay, and then, Bowers?
Inmate number?
190222240. Looks like. Oh, okay. I don't. Okay. All right, and you're Mr. Dassey?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Mr. Dassey, you're here in 2019 CF 1298AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for pretrial on July 23rd, 2019. The judge in that case revoked your release and set your bond at none. He has the PD. You do have the public defender's office, so they can file any appropriate motions with regards to bond for you.
Ma'am,
Yes.
you said you,
I can't do anything about the capias, okay? I'm not permitted to change it by law, so.
but I have my license and I went to court Tuesday, just this week. And
Okay,
they was
well-
gonna settle my case then,
Well,
so
there
if I
was
could
a
settle it now.
failure, there was a failure to appear for a pretrial.
So I can't settle it now?
Do we know what,
She finna look
I
at it.
think it's a felony,
It is your.
so I can't do anything about a felony, okay? I can't plea any felonies out here. right, please tell me your name.
Shannon Dugan.
All right, Mr. Dugan, you're here in two cases, 2018 CF 17257BO, and you were arrested pursuant to a KPS for failing to appear for your trial management conference on May 1st, 2019. The judge revoked your release on each of the counts and set your bond at none. And you have the PD, you do have the PD in that case, in 2019 MM 5991AO. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for providing false identification to law enforcement and 2 counts of resisting an officer without violence. And I'm gonna appoint the public defender in that case. And your bonds will stay set at 2,000 on count 1 and 500 on counts 2 and 3. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Ma'am,
Please tell me your name.
Dirk Fisher.
All right, Mr. Fisher, you're here in 2019 CF 10675AO. You're arrested for trafficking in methamphetamine over 28 grams. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to possess any weapons, any firearms, or any ammunition. And you're not to have any contact with any listed witnesses in the case or any possible co-defendants, but no contact with Georgiana, what's her last name? Hemlick, okay? And the bond will stay set at 100,000.
Your Honor, based on the facts of this case, we request a reduced bond. The narcotics in the case were found under the seat, passenger seat. I think it was his girlfriend's seat. Girlfriend told the officers that well, first of all, the car was owned by his girlfriend, and the narcotics were found underneath the girlfriend's seat. And then the girlfriend told the officers that he placed in there. I think, you know, at that point, the girlfriend was being detained and had every reason to not be truthful, because if she didn't say that, clearly she would have been arrested as well. So I think based on the facts of the case, that reduced bond would be appropriate in this situation.
Okay, I'm not gonna reduce the bond. He's in the car with the drugs. She's implicated him, so, and that's his girlfriend, so.
Well, I mean, they should both, if you were to go on just everyone's weight, I mean, if he should be given the same amount of weight that she was given, and he implicated somebody else. So, I mean,
Well, he
How
said
come-
he
how come
didn't
he-
know anything about the drugs.
so why wouldn't, you know, weight be given to his testimony the same as
I'm
it
not
was
gonna
given?
reduce the bond. If you wanna file a bond motion and put all of that in there, and I'm sure the judge in that division can take all of those things into consideration if they choose to. Okay. All right. All right, please tell me your name.
Tammy Fout.
All right, Ms. Fout, you're here in 2019 CF 9937AO. You're arrested for burglary of a conveyance and grand theft third degree. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant. Probable cause was found. I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to return back to the computers and cell phone store at 4938 West Colonial Drive. You're not to have any contact with any victim witness or any possible co-defendant as listed in the warrant. And your bond will stay set at 1,500 on count one, 100 on count two. You're out on release in 2019 CF 5556AO, revoking the release and setting the bonds at none. Does she have an attorney? I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you in that case, and they can file any appropriate motions with regards to bond for you.
So I can't get my bond posted on what I'm on now?
The new law, you have a bond. The case that you were out on bond in, I revoked the bond.
Okay, and what can I do about that
I just
bond?
told you, your attorneys can, I appointed the public defender, and the attorney can file a motion for bond.
But ma'am, I have my mother that I take care of at home, she's 75, and I have a 7-year-old
And
granddaughter.
you're out on release, and you get picked up on a new law, and that's a consequence that can happen.
But
So you
whenever,
have to think about that.
yes ma'am, I do. So how long will this take me to get this
Well,
bond
your
done?
attorney, our admin order says that, 3 working business days, so your attorney can file a motion today.
Can you put that in immediately, because my mom and granddaughter.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Hold on.
Please tell me your name.
Jacquees Harris.
All right, Mr. Harris, you're here in 2019 CF 10536. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant which probable cause was found for robbery with a firearm and aggravated battery with a firearm. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and we'll go back to that case in a second. 2017 CF 10596AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for your plea hearing on July 18, 2019. The judge revoked your release and set your bond at none. And do you have the PD in that case? No. There's a private attorney? Okay, you'll have to contact your private attorney in that case to file any appropriate motions with regards to bond in Division 19. As to the new law arrest, State, did you want to be heard as to bond on count one?
Yes, Your Honor, we would ask that the defendant be held at no bond based on proof evident presumption grade. Looking at the 4 corners of the affidavit by Detective Joel Javier, it looks like this defendant approached the victim and hit him on the left side of his temple or head with the butt of a gun. The victim dropped to the ground. He was able to see the defendant that he knew as Jock holding a black handgun. The defendant then removed the wallet from the left pocket of the victim. Then the victim's girlfriend approached the victim while he was on the ground. The defendant told the girlfriend the girlfriend punched the victim. Then the defendant ordered the girlfriend to take the cell phone. The victim was able to identify both the defendant and the co-defendant girlfriend, because the co-defendant girlfriend lives across the hall in the same apartment complex from the victim. The tag was registered to the victim, the defendant girlfriend, that was able to positively identify this victim. A photo lineup was also done, where the victim was able to identify Jock as Jacquees Harris. Based on that information, Your Honor, I believe the defendant should be held at no bond, no contact with the co-defendant, no contact with the victim, no return to the apartment complex, no weapons, no firearms, no drugs, no alcohol.
All right, Mr. Nguyen?
Your Honor, we'll leave it within the discretion of the court.
And in addition, the victim had injuries that corroborates the allegation. So based on my review of the warrant, as well as the recitation of the facts by the state, I do find proof evident presumption great, and I am gonna hold him at no bond on count, I believe it's listed as count 2, or it's 1 in the warrant. So count 1 will be no bond. Count 2 will stay at the 7,500, no weapons, no firearms, no ammunition, no return back to 1432 Mercy Drive, and where those apartment complex. No contact with Shakala Gordon, no contact with any victim, any witnesses, and if I didn't say it, no weapons, no firearms, no ammunition. You're also out on release in 2019 CF 5498AO. I'm revoking that release and setting that bond at none. Please tell me your name, sir.
Reginald Harris.
Mr. Harris, you're here in 2019 CF 10295. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant which probable cause was found for retail theft over 300. I am going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you in that case. You're not to return back to any Lowe's or any Home Depot in the continental United States. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. In 2019 CF, I'm going to stay that bond, sorry, at 2,500. 2019 CF 10290, you were arrested pursuant to a warrant, which probable cause was found for retail theft over $300. And I am going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Again, no return to any Home Depot in that case. And your bond is staying at the 2,500. And last case is 2019 CF 10292. You were also arrested pursuant to a warrant, which probable cause was found for retail theft over 300. I'm gonna appoint the PD in that case too. Your bond will stay set at 2,500. No return to any Home Depot, no contact with any listed victims or witnesses in any cases. And the bond will stay set, 2,500. All right, please tell me your name.
Stephanie Langford.
Javed.
He bonded your.
Okay. Take no action on that. All right. Ms. Langford? Okay. You're here in 2019 CF 10115. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant which probable cause was found for fraudulent use or possession of personal identification information and 2 counts of unauthorized possession of a driver's license or identification card. And I am going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness as alleged in the warrant. Your bond is $5,000 on count 1 and $500 on counts 2 and 3. All right, please tell me your name.
Hi, my name is Thomas Medina.
All right, Mr. Medina, you're here in 2019 CF 10651 AO. You were arrested for dealing in stolen property and grand theft 3rd degree. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you.
I didn't understand that. I'm kind of hard of hearing.
So, and you're also here in 2019 CF 106, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Want me to start over? Did you hear anything I said?
I heard,
Okay, I'll
I
start.
heard most of it. I heard most
I'll
of it.
start over.
Okay.
So you're here in 2019 CF 10651AO. You're arrested for dealing in stolen property, initiating in grand theft 3rd degree. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. In 2019 CF 10652AO, you were also arrested for dealing in stolen property and grand theft 3rd degree. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the PD in that case too. You're not to return back to All-American Water Restoration at 6330 Old Cheney Highway or have any contact with any victim or witness at that location. You're not to have any contact with any victim or witness or any co-defendant. I don't know if there are any co-defendants, but, you're not to return back to 5831 Diego Street, apartment 8.
That's my apartment.
Okay. well,
I live there.
You can go back there, then you can't go back to 1889 South Cimarron Boulevard, apartment B.
1889. That's my mother's home. I take care of my mom. She has
Okay, well,
she has dementia. It's me and my brother. It's me and my brother that takes care of my mom.
okay, all stolen equipment was located there, so,
Okay, but the stolen equipment. Oh, I'm sorry. It was planted there from Luisa de Leon.
okay. So where, it says that you live at 5831 Diego Street, is that
Yes,
correct?
5831
Okay.
Diego
You can go
Street.
back there. Your mom lives at 1889 South Cimarron
Yes.
Boulevard? Okay, you can go back there. You can't go back to All-American Water
Okay,
Restoration.
it's fine, that's fine.
Okay,
That's fine.
all right. In the other case, I think it's the same location, the Old Cheney Road. You can't go back there.
Okay.
All right, you're not to have any contact with any listed victims or witnesses. I'm gonna put you in the pretrial release program, Mr. Medina. You better make sure that you follow all of their requirements. Because if you don't, they can tell me and I can hold you no bond, okay?
Requirements. Okay. Sorry about that.
Please tell me your name.
Pierre Richard Moore.
All right, Mr. Moore, you're here in 2018 CF 15881AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear
Yes,
for
ma'am.
your case management conference on January 14, 2019. The judge revoked your release and set your bond at none on each of the 4 counts. You have the PD. You do have the Public Defender's Office representing you. They can file any appropriate motions with regards to bond in that case. All right, your attorneys can file any motions. I can't do anything about the capias, sir.
Your Honor, the defendant's indicating that he pled to these, to this case, and I don't,
On November 24th, I pled to this case. I pled guilty on all charges.
All right, we'll look it up.
This is Mr. Moran?
Yeah. What day did you say that you pled?
Pled guilty November 24th, and I did 45 days in jail. I was arrested September 29th at a Target, located at Target. I was trespassed.
This is a case, September 29th arrest.
My guess is it's probably a different case.
I have a moment I can look up his name besides just this case.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was the same case.
So,
because nothing happened on that date. In this
so on
case.
November the 2nd of last year, he pled no contest to a withhold credit for time served on a petty theft where the victim was Walmart.
I was all right. I
And
was arrested.
then on, I have a, so I only have 2 cases in our system with his name. And then I have this case, the 15881, where it shows me that he failed to appear in our system. to a felony.
Yeah, I see that. So it was, originally you were picked up on a misdemeanor and it was transferred to, this felony case. I don't know, when you look at what happened in that misdemeanor, but my chances are you didn't plead to that one because it was uprated. So let me take a look at that. So you were arrested back in September.
September 29th. Exact date I was arrested at Target.
Yeah, but this case has not been resolved.
Right, he was time served on another
misdemeanor. He was
arrested at the same time.
Yeah,
I was arrested at the same time.
on a different case. Okay? So you've not resolved this case. So your attorneys can file any motions with regards to bond.
All right, thank you, Judge.
All right? Please tell me your name, sir.
Tony Ramsey.
All right, Mr. Ramsey, you're here in 2019 CF 10671AO. You're arrested for burglary of a conveyance. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And you're not to return back to 1625 Redbird Lane in Apopka. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. Your bond will stay set at $3,500. And in 2018 CF 2442AO, you're arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for a status hearing on July 15, 2019. The judge in that case revoked your release and set your bond at none, and you do have the public defender in that case, and they can file any appropriate motions with regards to bond for you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Wayne Robinson.
All right, Mr. Robinson, you're here 2016 CF 15490AO. You're arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for a violation of probation hearing on July 22nd, 2019. And the judge in that case revoked your release and set your bond at none on each count. And he has the PD. You do have the public defender in that case representing you. They can file any appropriate motions with regards to bond, and I'm not gonna take any action on your out on bond case. Looks like you do have a pretrial conference coming up on August 1st, so if you're not out of jail by then, they'll transport you over there, okay? All right,
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
all right, please tell me your name.
Jennifer Rodriguez.
All right, Ms. Rodriguez, you're here in 2019 CF 10670AO. You're arrested for possession of tetrahydrocannabinols. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to possess any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I'm going to stay the bond at $1,000. Looks like you're in pretrial PTD at the state, but that's been going on since 2016. I don't know what's going on. I looked it up and there's been no action on it. I'm not gonna take any action today, but I don't know why it's taking so long to get through a pretrial diversion from 2016. So,
I see it was referred in June, I'm sorry, May of 2017 was referred.
yeah,
And then it went to PTD in 2017 in June, and I have literally no notes
Yeah.
since then.
so maybe my chances are if you're in the program still, you're probably gonna get rejected from it, but I'm not gonna take any action today. But I don't know, maybe that's the one that just got lost in the system over there. Thank you. All right, please tell me your name.
Brittany Seabury.
All right, Ms. Seabury, you're here in 2019 CF 10669AO. You're arrested for grand theft, third degree. I do find probable cause. You did not fill out a form for the public defender. Were you planning on hiring your own attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you're not to return back to 4200 Conroy Road, the Sunglass Hut at Millennium Mall. Actually, I'm gonna order that you're not to return back to the Millennium Mall at all.
Okay.
And you're not to go to the Sunglass Hut in Waterford Lakes. So you're not to go back to any Sunglass Hut.
Okay.
And not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. The bond will stay set at $2,500. And you're on pretrial release in 2 cases.
Yes, ma'am.
2019 CT 4933AO and 2019 MM 5581AO. Does she have an attorney in those cases?
Yes, ma'am.
Private? Okay. So you are represented. I am gonna revoke the pretrial release and hold you at no bond in those cases. Your attorneys can file any appropriate motions with regards to bond.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
My pretrial release date, or the pretrial, whatever the thing was, it happened on July 4th, but the incident in this police report is coming from an incident in June 28th.
July 25th.
Well, July
June
4th
28th.
was when I got the initial pretrial release, but the incident in which I was arrested for yesterday occurred June 28th. It's in my...
You're right.
Yes, ma'am.
You're right. I'm still gonna revoke the pretrial release.
Yes.
Well, but this is what I'm gonna do.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna set bonds in those cases, because obviously there's
Yes.
a problem here. So, well, you know what, I'm gonna keep you on the, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep you on the pretrial release, keep reporting as required.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? So I'm not gonna revoke the release.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm gonna rip up these things because it happened
Yes, ma'am.
opposite, okay? So still same conditions, you can't go back to any Sunglass Hut, you can't go back to the Millennium Mall, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So make sure you keep in touch with your pretrial release officer and you keep doing everything that you're supposed to do and you don't pick up any new law offenses.
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
if you do, then I can revoke the release,
Yes,
okay?
understand.
All right,
All right, thank you.
thank you. Do you want me to do anything with these, or? Okay, I filled them all out, but I filled them all out before. Where do you want me to? PTR? So give them to her? Yes. All right, please tell me your name.
Marcus Springs.
All right, Mr. Springs, you're here in 2012 CF 8131AO. You're arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for an arraignment on May 18, 2017. And the judge forfeited your bond, revoked your release, and set your bond at none on each count. I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and they can file any appropriate motions with regards to bond.
See, they told me.
I can't give you a bond today on a case.
I'm not
Okay,
worried
I'm
about
just
the bond.
letting
Can
you
I
know.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Your Honor, I was, when I was released from Columbia County Detention Center after I bonded out, they asked me for an address for where I was going at. They said that a letter would come telling me a court date. I gave them 738 Albany Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. They put down 738 Albany Avenue, Lake City, Florida. There's no such address. I never received a letter for a court date ever.
Okay, I don't know anything about what you told whoever you told, so I don't have any information in front of me as to what that address was, so you're gonna have to talk to the judge in that case, and your attorneys can put all of that in a motion. And maybe there's some proof that you wrote down a specific address.
I got it right here on
Okay,
this affidavit.
okay, well, your attorneys can file a motion,
Okay,
okay? All right?
all right,
Just make sure they get that paperwork.
okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, you too. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Johnny Stallnick.
All right, Mr. Stallnaker, you're here in 2019 CF 10606. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for burglary of a dwelling, grand theft of $100 or more from a dwelling or curtilage, and criminal mischief less than 200. I do find, probable cause was found. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You can't go back to 1320 Hunterman Lane in Winter Garden, Florida. You can't have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the affidavit. And I'm gonna stay the bonds. And $3,500 on count 1, $150 on counts 2 and 3. I'm not gonna take any action on your out on release case. So just make sure you don't miss your court date. Looks like if you're able to bond out, you have a
Wednesday.
court date on the 31st.
Wednesday.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright. Are you Mr. Swanson?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright. Alright, Mr. Swanson, you're here in 2019 CF 10653AO. You're arrested for possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver with a firearm, possession of a firearm by convicted felon, and possession of cocaine, and possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. And I am gonna appoint the public defender to represent you in that case. And Mr. Nguyen, you had a PC challenge?
Yes, Your Honor, with regards to count 1, the possession of cocaine with intent to sell, there's no corroborating facts in the affidavit which would indicate he had any intent to sell the cocaine. So based on that, we would, and in addition to that, I've spoken to the state. The state has agreed to stipulate to just a simple possession. So based on, the facts in the affidavit, we would contest the probable cause for possession of cocaine with intent to sell.
I mean, other than the fact that there's individual packages, but there's no indication of scales or anything additional. So I'll find the probable cause for the lesser, included offense of possession of cocaine, 893.136A-6. I believe there's possession of cocaine with a firearm. Yeah, I mean, because there's a firearm.
Yes, Your Honor. Possession with a weapon.
So that's gonna be the lesser included offense.
I believe because I think the same as we had yesterday, it starts at 28 grams and goes up to 200 for the possession and then with the weapon.
Sorry.
So it's 50,000 or 100, but then it doesn't meet that weight today, so.
Well, the total weight for everything in this case, so there's 4.84 grams, and then another 2.2 grams. So there's a specific weight for possession of cocaine with a weapon?
Looks like the minimum weight on that is 28 grams, so it wouldn't,
Are you looking at a specific statute?
no, I'm looking at the bond schedule on the page.
Okay, I'm looking at a statute.
Okay.
So, 893.13. 6. So many drug statutes. With a weapon.
It's 893.136A-93.
893.136A 99. Okay, so that will be the lesser included offense. Thank you so much. And so I do find probable cause for the other offenses. And no weapons, no firearms, no ammunition, no contact with any possible co-defendants, Brittany Emanuel, no possession of any illegal substances without a valid prescription, no return to 1005 West Cayley Street. And the bond on count 1, I'm gonna set at 15,000. Count 2 will be 5,000. Count 3, 150. Count 4, 100. And also 2019 CF 10653AO, or sorry, that's the same case, there's two affidavits. 2019 CF 10666AO, you're arrested for aggravated assault with a firearm. I do find probable cause for that offense. I am gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you, not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness. You're not to return back to 1005 West Cayley. You're not to have any contact with the co-defendant, possible co-defendant. No weapons, no firearms, or ammunition if I did not say that, and your bond in that case is set at 7,500. And you're out on release in 2019 CF 6681A. I'm revoking that release and setting it at none, and your attorneys can file any appropriate motions with regards to bond. All right, please tell me your name.
Donnell Lamar is one.
All right, Mr. Warren, you're here in 2019 CF 10678AO. You're arrested pursuant to a warrant which probable cause was found for burglary of a dwelling and petty theft. I am going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. You're not to return to 2226 Metropolitan Way, apartment 1117. Your bond on count 1 is $5,000. Your bond on count 2 is $150. You're out on release in 2019 CF 5896AO. Does he have any representation in that case? I'm gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you in that case, and I'm revoking the bond and setting it at none. Please tell me your name.
Amy Whalen.
All right, Miss Whalen, you're here in 2019 CF 10667AO. You were arrested for DUI with serious bodily injury. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. And you're gonna be ordered to have random urinalysis through pretrial release. And I believe without being in pretrial release, it's twice a month. Okay.
She does have a 5-day probation.
Okay, yeah. So, and I'm gonna stay the bond at the $5,000, and you are on probation, so you do have a 5-day hold. It's possible that they'll file a violation of probation. Do we have the PC? This is, I didn't get anything. We might have to recall it because my guess is I'm gonna have to,
Ms. Whalen?
no, for
Oh, Mr. Bowers.
Mr. Bowers. I have,
They have one signature.
yeah,
They have printed it.
and I have an add-on case for grand theft for him. Are you Mr. Bowers? Can you tell me your name?
Lucas.
Lucas Bowers? Okay.
Lucas Bowes.
Okay, Mr. Bowers, you're here in 2019 CF 10630AO, and, I believe there was no PC yesterday because I didn't have any information in the affidavit. It's the same affidavit, so.
Madam First Runner, it is a long one.
Yeah, so maybe we recall this because I'm gonna need to read it. Okay. So we'll address the other case as well when we recall. And I'm sure the PD would like an opportunity to review it too, so. Well, I mean, it's gonna take, I mean, it's a long affidavit, so depending on I don't know what our afternoon looks like, so. Okay, well, we'll discuss that at the end, and then we'll figure out when Mr. Bowers will come back, but it'll be today. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Montravius Hunter, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Hunter, you're here in 2019 CF 10622AO. You're arrested for possession of MDMA ecstasy and possession of cannabis, less than 20 grams. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. And your bond will stay set at 1,000 on count 1, 100 on count 2. You're out on release in 2019 CF 4603AO. I'm revoking the bond and setting that at none. Does he have the PD? You have the public defender. They can file any appropriate motions with regards to bond. All right, is Mr. Benedictus coming?
Mental health, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Nguyen, we discussed this yesterday, and then Mr. Thompson, you were on all those emails. Did you see them?
I was on, okay, yeah, I saw those emails this morning, but
Everybody-
I didn't receive a copy of the motion till
Okay.
this morning.
So
or-
this is my
this
problem with these cases.
yeah,
Yeah,
the state, I know what you're gonna say, the evaluation's stale, right?
Yeah, and we advised Mr. Thompson of that,
Okay,
and he said he's not asking for the court to have him reevaluated. So this court is not going to rely on evaluations from 2017. And he's also failed to put in his motion that he was on conditional release in 3 other cases, which my JA advised him of those cases. And he did not put in the motions. The case that he did put in the motion has been dismissed. It's not even a pending case. So, Mr. Thompson was well aware of this yesterday, and he failed to file an amended motion, including all of that information, as well as asking the court to have him reevaluated by Dr. Tate and I think it was Dr. Burns. And I have no problem appointing doctors or the same doctors to reevaluate him. But you're gonna have to file a motion to have that done.
Okay.
So in 2019 MM 5598AO, as it stands now, I'm gonna deny the motion.
okay.
And if you wanna file a motion with all of the cases that he's in conditional release or on conditional release in, with all of the correct information as to those cases, as well as a request to have this court reappoint Dr. Burns and Dr. Tate to reevaluate Mr. Benedictus as to competency in this case, because as the rule stands, the wording of the rule is, and 3.211A1, competency to proceed deals with whether a defendant has sufficient present ability to consult with counsel with a reasonable degree of rational understanding, and whether the defendant has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the pending proceedings. And then 3.212B says the presiding judge in the pending proceeding determines whether a defendant is competent to proceed in the pending proceeding. So, this is the pending proceeding. And so I need to have him reevaluated in order to make that determination, since I have no evaluations that are within the last 6 months. And, okay,
Okay, I
so
understand,
maybe
Your Honor.
relay that to Mr., I thought my office was pretty clear to him in the email.
Right.
But apparently not. So, so I'm gonna deny that as for the reasons as stated on the record and as I've told the state and the PD and in the emails that were sent out and everybody was noticed on. So that's what's gonna have to be done. And I have no problem appointing those doctors to reevaluate him. I mean, okay? Because this is what Mr. Thompson's email says. I'm not asking for a mental health eval for the purposes of a bond motion. He's already been adjudicated incompetent to proceed with no subsequent finding of competence. I included all of the evals for full disclosure. Well, he hasn't been found incompetent in this case on any pending evaluations that are current. So Mr. Thompson may want to look at those rules that I cited to you. I don't know if you wrote them down, but you may want to refer him to those specific rules. So it doesn't matter what findings were happening in any other case. This case that matters, okay?
Right.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then I believe we have a 33-day motion for 2019 CF 9007AO, Juan Roberto Luciano Jr., filed by David Verrett.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
Okay, that will be granted. Okay. 2019 CF 8116AO, Leroy Hollywood Green.
Granted, the state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
I know it was put on the pile. I found it. All right, that will be granted. I knew I brought it in today. 2019 MM 5285AO David Lovelace.
That should be denied. The state filed an information and requested transfer from misdemeanor to felony, 725.
That will be denied. CF 9020AO Stephen Dembski.
Should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 9015AO Charles Melvin McGee.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 8942AO Michael Edward Zaswarny.
To be granted, the state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
That will be granted. (2019) CF 6863 Charles Melvin McGee.
That should be denied. The state filed information on 725.
That will be denied. (2019) CF 9114AO Kathy Lynette Dodge.
To be denied, the state filed information and a request to transfer from felony to misdemeanor on 725.
That will be denied. (2019) CF 8994AO Clifford the Third Gray. I don't.
That should be granted. The state filed a no information notice on 725.
That will be granted. All right, and somebody told me that there was a request for a move up, or
Yes, Your Honor, there are only 8 people, second, six.
Six
Sorry.
people?
Down to 6 people in second session.
Okay, Mr. Nguyen, do you want me to do a move-up docket?
I have no objection.
Okay, does anybody in the courtroom have any objections to a move-up docket? Okay, I see no hands raised. So, Mr. Nguyen, how much time do you need to, I know I need to review the PC for, Mr. Bowers, and, so I know you're probably gonna wanna read that too.
I would say,
You just tell me how much time you need. It's now July 26, 2019. This is second session, and can I have the parties announce themselves for the record?
Kathy Kennedy Swans on behalf of the Office of State Attorney.
Brian Nguyen on behalf of the Office of Public Defender.
And Mr. Nguyen, did you have every opportunity to speak with all of your clients
I did, Your
and
Honor.
review all of the documentation that you needed to review?
I did, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Kevin Thomas Culverhouse.
All right, Mr. Culverhouse, you're here in case number 2019 CF 3804AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for a remand or a modification of your sentence on July 16, 2019. The judge set your bond at none on each count. And CF the PD, you do have the public defender. They can file any appropriate motions with regards to bond for you. All right, please tell me your name.
James Woods.
All right, Mr. Woods. You're here in 2019 CF 10557AO You were arrested pursuant to a warrant, which probable cause was found for a trespass and a conveyance. Although I read the warrant and I thought there was probable cause for the burglary and the burglary of a conveyance, Judge McGinnis disagreed. So I am gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're not to return back. To 420 South Norton Avenue, US 1 Charters. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. And I am gonna set your bond at $2,500 on count 1 and $100 on count 2. You're out on release for burglary of a structure and petty theft, 2019 CF 1221AO. I'm revoking the release and setting that at none, and your attorneys can file any appropriate motions with regards to bond. Okay, he'll have to wait. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
D'Angelo Austin.
All right. Is Mr. Zeno or? All right, we'll reset that. Mr. Alston.
Hey, ma'am, I wanna,
There's no offer, Your Honor, Mr. Officer.
All right, you're here in 2019 MM 62088AO. You're arrested for petty theft. I
wanna
did find
plead-
probable cause. You did not fill out a form for the Public Defender's Office.
I wanna plead guilty today.
Okay, well, this is a victim crime, so I'm not gonna take any plea today. And it's likely that, my guess is the state may be wanting to upgrade based on your priors. I don't know.
I
if
forgot,
that's
I
the
forgot to pay for it, and,
This-
I had walked out with it.
I would be very careful about what you say on the record, but,
Your Honor, he has previous mental health issues.
Yeah.
Yes.
okay.
So I would probably still appoint the Public Defender's Office based on his.
I have to go to school.
I am gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you, as well as in 2019 CF 4559AO.
I don't want a lawyer, ma'am. I wanna plead guilty today.
I'm sorry? Okay, so that one's resolved? Okay. All right, so you can't go back to the Wawa at 1200 West Colonial Drive. You can't have any contact with any victim or witness in the case. And is the state intending to upgrade it, or?
Your Honor, I see one that's on his criminal history, so yes, state would potentially maybe upgrade it, but I only see one, but I don't know if he has.
Okay.
Give him a thorough.
All right. So I'm gonna stay the bond at the $250, and I did appoint the public defender.
Your Honor, what was the bond? I'm sorry.
$250. Not if the state is gonna possibly look into upgrading the charges. They're not sure what your history is to a felony, based on your prior history.
I only have one petty theft.
Okay, well, state's not sure of what your history is. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Carl Cameron.
All right, Mr. Cameron, you're here, you were picked up on an Osceola County warrant, and it looks like the judge in that case set your bond at 1,000. If you can't bond out, Osceola County has 24 hours pursuant to our administrative order to come and pick you up. That does not include the weekends, okay?
Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Innocent.
All right, Mr. Innocent. It's an interesting name.
Excuse me, ma'am?
It's an interesting name.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Mr. Innocent, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Lee County, and it looks like the bond in that case is set at $500. So if you can't bond out, Lee County has 72 hours to come and pick you up, okay? And that does not include the weekend or any holidays, okay?
Okay, so when it would be?
So, Jenny, do you know when 72 hours would be from today with not Wednesday? If you can't bond out? And you come back before me if they didn't pick you up, okay?
So it's gonna be on Wednesday, and I don't even wanna be here Wednesday. I don't even wanna be here, cause I'm not used to this.
Okay, well, if you can find somebody to bond you out, or you can
I'll find
bond
a way.
out, your bond's $500.
Yeah, I find a way, cause I don't even wanna be here.
Okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, please tell me your name, ma'am.
Jacqueline Scott.
All right, Miss Scott, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County, and the bond in that case, that the judge set is at none. And Seminole County has 24 hours to come and pick you up. That does not include the weekend, okay?
So what does that mean? That means
So
I
it
could
may
leave
be-
if they don't?
It may be Monday.
Okay.
All right, can we bring Miss Lampkin in because we have the attorney on the phone? All right, can we put him on the phone? Do I just do talk? This is Judge Wish.
Hi, this is Joe Zwick.
Joe Zwick?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Zwick, I have Miss Lampkin in front of me. She was picked up on an out-of-county warrant. And I guess there's been some communication with Gadsden County, but they've indicated, they contacted them yesterday to advise them again, and there's been no communication as to a pickup time, so I'm gonna ROR her.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, I advised my JA to let you know you didn't need to appear by phone.
Well, I just wanted her to know that I was on top of it over there, so I appreciate it.
Okay, so Miss Lampkin, please keep in touch with Mr. Zwick.
Okay. Yes,
And
ma'am.
make sure that you appear at all your court hearings, okay?
Yes, they never had
Okay,
notified
well,
me.
don't talk, there's nothing that I can do for you,
Okay.
okay? But I'm releasing you ROR,
Okay.
okay?
Thank you.
Just make sure that you appear for all your court dates and you keep in touch with Mr. Zwick, okay?
Okay, thank you. Yes,
All right,
ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Zwick.
Thank you.
All right. All right, please tell me your name.
Lucas Bowers.
All right, Mr. Bowers, you're here on a couple of cases. I didn't have the reset paperwork for the 2019 CF 10629 case. They didn't give that to me. We have that reset paperwork. I only have the one reset, and I think they did an add-on for a grand theft. So there were, I think, aggravated fleeing and eluding with an injury or property damage, leaving the scene of a crash with property damage, and driving while license suspended in that 10629 case. So we'll start, yeah. I was just letting you know, because if I don't have the paperwork, you don't have the paperwork. Okay, so Mr. Bowers, you're here in 2019 CF 10630AO. And you were arrested for aggravated battery on a law enforcement officer with a motor vehicle, possession of cocaine with intent to sell or deliver, possession of cocaine, criminal mischief, and resisting an officer without violence, and possession of cannabis. And you were here yesterday, and there was no PC because it was a 3-line affidavit. The state has since provided myself as well as your attorney with the additional documentation as to probable cause. And Mr. Nguyen, did you have an opportunity to review that?
I did review the affidavit, Your Honor. I did not see anywhere in the affidavit where a battery occurred with a motor vehicle or an officer was hit. I see where the vehicles collided, but I didn't indicate that an officer was inside the vehicle or that he actually hit someone with the vehicle.
Okay, so, while moving into tactically park the vehicle, I activated my lights and sirens of my unmarked agency vehicle. I then observed the driver of the Chrysler, who was identified as the defendant, reach down, place the vehicle into drive. He then accelerated forward into my vehicle, making contact with my front driver's side bumper, continued to drive between Deputy Lopez and I in our unmarked agency vehicles with emergency equipment activated. He rammed through both agency vehicles, then collided head-on with Deputy Mahoney's unmarked agency vehicle. At this time, Mahoney was not involved with the takedown and therefore did not have emergency equipment activated.
Okay, so I
I believe there was more information later on in the documentation.
guess the implication is there that he was inside the vehicle. Okay, Your Honor. So I see.
I think there was some more information in the other affidavits.
And the only thing, I didn't see anything about a motor vehicle being reported stolen.
That's in the grand theft.
Okay, I don't know if
There's
I,
an addition-
I don't have an
Yeah,
add-on for
we
Grand
have an
Theft
add-on.
Auto.
I'm saying it just didn't come to my paperwork today, so I don't.
Right, and I don't think
Yeah, the add-on is case number 2019 CF 10677. That was a vehicle stolen from Hertz at the airport, which is the vehicle in this case.
and
So,
And the last thing I would point out is I didn't see anything in the affidavit other than a conclusionary statement indicating that he didn't have a driver's license. It didn't, nothing about, I ran defendant's name via teletype and, revealed that he had suspended license. I don't,
okay, so going back to your first PC challenge.
Right.
In the incident report, the last page of the incident report provided, it talks about, he then backed up and drove north along the east side of the KSC where he struck DS Christopher Moore's unmarked car, causing an airbag deployment, serious damage to the vehicle, as well as a minor injury to DS Moore's right hand. Continued to drive westbound through the parking lot, through the busy parking lot of the fire station Thai Center next door and the adjacent busy boardwalk full parking lot. I immobilized Bowers Chrysler at the northwest corner of the KFC parking lot just before he jumped the grassy median to the Firestone parking lot where employees were outside. Based on his violent action with his vehicle, based on the fact that people were outside. Prior to that, the driver, later identified as Bowers, intentionally drove into DS Corey Heller's unmarked patrol vehicle while DS Heller's lights were activated, causing damage to DS Heller's unmarked vehicle. Bowers then attempted to drive past Hector Lopez's unmarked vehicle while the lights were activated onto the grassy area and the sidewalk closest to the KFC building. He then intentionally struck my unmarked agency vehicle with the front of his vehicle as I attempted to prevent him from driving across the sidewalk closest to the restaurant.
okay, so he was
He's in the vehicle.
Okay, I see, Your Honor.
Okay. So he's in the vehicle. So I do find probable cause for count 1. And we haven't, the other case is the driving while license suspended and all that, so I'll get to that.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. So I do find probable cause based on the additional documentation provided by the state in 2019 CF 10630AO. The bond on count 1 is 50,000, count 2 15,000, 150 on 3 and 4, 5 and 6 are 100. He's not to return back to that KFC at 10825 East Colonial Drive. He's not to have or possess any illegal substances without a valid prescription. He's not to have any contact with any listed victims, witnesses, or Ms. Moss.
So I can't have contact with her?
No weapons, no firearms, and no ammunition. That'll take care of that case. And then, I'm sorry, no, I'm not that. And so the additional documentation for the supplemental report relating to the other charges is in the same documentation that the state provided to the court, which references case number 2019 CF 10629AO, which is the aggravated fleeing and attempting to elude a law enforcement officer with injury or property damage, leaving the scene of a crash with property damage, and driving while license suspended or revoked. I thought I read something in there about the revocation. She's she's in the vehicle with him. Yeah, I don't know if she's charged as a co-defendant, but her name's on the Jalexia Moss.
I believe he states on page
Yeah, I knew I read it somewhere.
4, excuse me, where he states the defendant admits that he doesn't have a driver's license, that his friend Carl rents him cars because he doesn't have a license.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so I
Okay,
knew
I'll
I read
sta-
something
I'll
in there
stand
about the
correct.
license.
I was trying to scan through this.
Okay.
It's a lot of information.
It was a lot of information, yes. So, I do find probable cause for those offenses in 10629. And so again, no contact with any victims or witnesses in the case, or the co-defendant, if, looks like, I don't know if she's gonna be charged with anything, but Miss Jalexia Moss. No weapons, no firearms, no ammunition, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, no driving without a valid license. The bond on count 1 is also $50,000. Count 2 will be $150, count 3 $100. And then we also have
I'm sorry, what was count 1?
50,000. And then we also have an add-on. Mr. Nguyen, did you want to get a copy of that, or did you?
The
The grant theft, you want to come look at my screen, I just pulled up.
I'll take a look at it.
It's not a long affidavit. Yeah, I'm appointing the PD on all 3 cases. Did you have an opportunity to review it, Mr. Nguyen?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so in 2019 CF 10677, Mr. Bowers, you're charged with grand theft 3rd degree of a motor vehicle. I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender, as I stated before. You're not to return to the airport Hertz at 9201 Airport Boulevard or have any contact with any listed victims or witnesses at that location. And your bond will stay at 1,500 on that case. anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, we'll be in recess until Monday. Well, I'll be in recess till Monday.